Habaragani, everyone. Uh, you would respond Nia, and that is today, Nia. So Habaragani,
Yeah.
Nia.
Nia means purpose. Thank you for answering. Purpose is to make our collective vocation the building and development of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. So happy Kwanzaa. Here, when we look at the word vocation, rather than job, we want to think of the definition calling. I'm sure that you're familiar with calling. If you've had any good talks with any elders in your life, then I would imagine at some point they've referred to a calling that you have, that someone they know has, or someone that you know has had and needs to step up and answer, or even can't be held from answering. So that's what I want to focus on. So building a community, building our community as a vocation, as a calling. So you can't be removed from your calling. Your calling can't be taken away from you. How a calling can change is by magnitude and impact. That part of a calling or a vocation can change. Our choices and our actions, those can be passive or destructive. And that would change the way our calling is realized. Our choices can also be active and developmental. And that will change the magnitude and the impact of the calling as well. So the calling itself cannot be changed. It is destined. So again, we're talking about Nia, purpose, calling. The purpose is destined, your purpose, and your purpose remains the same. A quote that was given to me for this day of Kwanzaa this year was from Chadwick Boseman. The struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. I think this is a really great quote because for many reasons. So first, because it came from Chadwick Boseman. For Kwanzaa, if we look back on his life and the things that he did and how they impacted us, the different roles that he played, the education that he had, and the way he responded to how everyone responded to him, we can really feel that his actions help shape our lives. If you're not sure by the name Chadwick Boseman, he's the man that played Black Panther. He also played Marshall. He also played Jackie Robinson. Really important people in the history of African American people and really Africans, because what we do kind of ripples to each other because we're connected as a community. So one of us, if you remember from earlier days of Kwanzaa, one of our actions impacts the whole community. And Chadwick Boseman really did that. So when we think about this quote, the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. We can see this in his life. And we can feel that now. It's definitely difficult because we're dealing with COVID-19. right? And there's a lot of struggles in this very moment. So often it's better to feel it in this case after the struggle. But even though it may be difficult to apply as you're going through kind of the muck, it doesn't make it any more difficult to believe it's true. So we have to have faith, right? When we can't see it, when we're dealing with it, when we're carrying all of the heavy, heavy weight, it's faith in the fact that, that we can use to pull us through. Yesterday, I was listening to a man talk about climate change, and I really didn't realize there were so many hurricanes happening to Louisiana and that area of the country. I knew there was a lot of destruction. I knew the storms were stronger, but I wanted to know, and I watched the information because COVID-19 has taken so much of our attention, as well it should. We have to take care of each other. But climate change is happening, and that movement, the legislation that can take care of some of that movement, we need to pay attention to just as much as COVID-19. Mm-hmm. So yesterday I heard a man speaking, and he was talking about how it had impacted his business. He had a shrimping business, and the video kept showing all of these homes and vast areas that have just been wiped out by historic storms. And as the man was talking, he said, he doesn't give more than we can handle. So he must really have a lot of faith in me. And I heard the beginning part before, he doesn't give us more than we can handle. And we say, yes, that's true. And we believe it and we keep going. But I like that he added, so he must have a lot of faith in me. I really like that. So if we think about Nia, if we think about purpose and making it our vocation, to develop our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness, then we can think about oppression. And oppression is a lot to handle. But God must have a lot of faith in Black people. The last part that I want to talk about is negative self-talk. So negative self-talk is the real challenge here. We know from taking on challenges over and over and winning that winning is possible. We do have to have that perspective to see the win, because sometimes it may not look like what we thought it would be. Sometimes when we have negative self-talk, we go out and we seek counsel, right? I think it's very important that we be aware. We definitely go and seek counsel from people we love and trust and admire, people who we kind of want to be like, or think that I learned that if you want a certain life, then you surround yourself with people who are living that life or trying to live that life. So I imagine that's the people that we go and seek counsel from. But we do have to recognize that those are still people. So when we do get that advice, when we do get that counsel, recognize if that person is going through a struggle right now, where that advice is coming from, or if they're in a place where they can give good counsel, right? The main thing is to always listen with love, listen to ourselves with love, listen to that counsel with love, and know and accept that you are not here to fail. So that's my take on Nia. I wish you guys a wonderful Kwanzaa. Veronica, is there anything that you would like to add?
Well, I will add just a few things. You covered it very well, but I'd like to just add a little bit on calling.
Sure.
Because I have always associated calling with a calling from God and people being called into different ministries.
Mm.
And I know about that and how real that is. But then I have learned that we're all here. God put every one of us here with a purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
within our DNA, God has put some type of calling, not necessarily to a ministry, but to whatever your vocation or craft may be.
Speak on.
So I thought about myself. I always, do a lot of self reflection. And with all of the desire that I had to be a legal secretary from just a little girl, I pursued that. I achieved that. I was very, very satisfied and at peace being a legal secretary.
Mm.
And I was good. I was good. I knew I was good, and I felt very good. So on in life, I got into something totally different. And I'm not saying that that was wrong, but when I look at the peace and the satisfaction that I had in the air traffic control arena compared to what I had in the legal secretary arena, is like, I probably should have been a legal secretary all my life, and I would have known that peace all my life, and I
Mm.
only would have gotten better. Whereas in the air traffic control arena, I'm like, okay, I'm raising two children. I've got to make more money. I've got to do this, do that. So, I was just kind of influenced by outside pressures to pursue something else. So, calling is very important, and we should take the time to reflect on what your purpose is here on earth. What is God's purpose for your life? And then the other thing that I wanted to add regarding purpose is that patience is so very important. Uh, Little by little, a bird will build a nest. And when you're working toward your calling or your goals, patience is very important. And you really do need to take it little by little until you reach your goal. And in the process, just make sure you never lose focus of your goal. Sometimes we do it little by little, we get frustrated and we give up. Don't do that. Just be patient and keep putting one foot in front of the other. Yesterday, we said, I will stand on my two black feet. Stand on your two black feet and put one foot in front of the other until you reach your goal. So, purpose, let us all reflect and understand what our purpose is here and work toward our goals with patience and, like Pepper said, with faith, faith and knowing that it is God's desire for you to succeed. We all are here to succeed, not to fail. Thank you and have a great afternoon.
Yes. Baragani.
Barakani.
Yeah.